Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the brand new 24-inch iMac. This comes in at $1,299 and goes up to $2,628 and comes in 256 gigabytes all the way up to 2 terabytes of storage with 8 or 16 gigs of RAM. You also have the option of a 7 or 8 core GPU on the lower end. Pretty much anything above the lower end version comes with a larger GPU. Now, you also have 7 different colors of blue, green, pink, silver, yellow, orange, and purple. And this is actually the silver version. Originally, I wanted the blue one, but this is actually the one my local Apple store had. So I thought we'd open this up. It has 1 terabyte of storage and also has 16 gigs of RAM. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now, unfortunately, I didn't plug in the audio for the mic. So the mic jack wasn't plugged in when I took off the original strip here on the top, but I didn't unbox any of the other accessories. So nothing's open, just this top piece I took off without plugging the microphone in. So unfortunately, I can't show you that with this mic, but here's what it's like without this microphone. So let's go ahead and open it. So let's go ahead and unbox it. Now on the top here, you actually have a handle that's made of some sort of nylon. And I saw someone with a good suggestion that maybe this would be great to have as a watch band that disconnects that you can continue to use. Thought that was kind of an interesting idea. So it's sort of a nylon material. Let's go ahead and open this up. And you want to lay this down when you open it up. So it kind of opens this way. And let's get rid of my iPhone here that's on the table. Open it up. Just like that. And inside, it says hello on the covering here. And let's go ahead and turn this so I can show you what it looks like. So if we open it up like this, we push out on these sides, it opens up, and here's the iMac itself. So we'll go ahead and set this aside for a moment. And then in here are the accessories. So we pull this, open it up, and then you've got all your accessories. So you've got your keyboard, you've got your magic mouse, your power adapter, your power/Ethernet adapter, and then your cable. So let's go ahead and take the keyboard out. We'll take a look at this. And this should have Touch ID on it. So we'll open this up. And as you can see, there's Touch ID there. And it's pretty much your standard keyboard, but with Touch ID on it. So similar to what we've had before. So set that aside. We also have a magic mouse, which being silver is probably going to be exactly the same. So maybe these feet on the bottom are a little bit more pronounced, but it's basically the same thing. Maybe a little off-white as well. And then inside here, we have a matching lightning cable that's actually got a braided cable on it. So it's kind of nice, a little bit different there. And then let's see what we've got here. So inside here, this is where our literature is and our Apple stickers. So we have iMac here. Open it up. It talks about Touch ID. Put that down. And then in here, in this one, we have a single silver Apple sticker. Now in some of the other colors, you get a two-tone version. Now we'll open this up. And here is just a normal power cable. So take this out here. So it just comes apart like this. Pull the sides off here like that. And there we go. So it's a normal power plug, but you'll see here on the end, you've got 3 little prongs. Pretty typical of a normal plug. And then also, this is the power brick. Now, the less expensive models do not have Ethernet. So this comes with gigabit Ethernet, and they've decided to make the power supply external. So you've got your plug here with your Ethernet jack here if you want to use that. And then here is, this is a little bit of a mess. There we go. And here is the new cable. Let me move the box out of the way and we'll take a closer look. So here's the power adapter. On it, it actually has something on there. You'll see it says 143 watts. So it's 143 watts. And this is a new connector that actually has Ethernet and power through it and is magnetic. It's not MagSafe, but that's what it looks like inside. And then around the edge, it's a little bit different. So it's unlike something we've seen before, but it's magnetic and it's not supposed to pull away easily if you kind of trip on the cord. So let's set this aside. Now let's go ahead and bring the desk up so we can take a closer look at this. And you can see here is the iMac. Now it's actually pretty light, so I can just pick it up one-handed. It's it's a little bit heavy, but not like the current iMac that this is replacing. So let's go ahead and undo the back here. And then you pull down. So we'll pull down here. And then this comes undone like this. Now we have a wrapper on the back and also on the front. It says hello, similar to the first iMac. So let's go ahead and take the wrapper off. It looks like we have one here on the side. Go all the way around. There we go. And then we've got one on the back here as well. There we go. And then there's another one, it looks like under here. We just pull down over the power plug here. And then finally on the front. And there we have it. So this is the new iMac, and you can see how thin it is here. It's incredibly thin. Let me show you my iPhone next to it to give you an idea of how thin this is. So maybe an iPhone and a half, maybe 2 iPhones thick as far as that goes. So as you can see here, if I put it this way, maybe you can see a little bit better. If I move my hands out of the way, it would help. But you can get an idea of how thin that actually is. So it's pretty thin. And let's go around the outside and take a look at it. So on the top, it looks like we have 2 microphones here. So there's 2 microphones there, nothing on the sides. Now on the back, you've got 4 ports. 2 are USB-C, 2 are Thunderbolt. So Thunderbolt 3, and then the other 2 are USB-C. Then we have our power button that's over here, as well as a headphone jack that's on the side here. So it's pretty compact. And then of course, we've got our display in the front. It also looks like, now that I look at the back, it looks like we might have a sensor or a microphone right in here as well. So you'll see it moves around pretty easily as well as I move this around. Now let's go ahead and plug in the back here and see what this is like. So we'll take this plug and see what it's like. Let's see how it connects. So it's self-aligning. It will actually spin and snap into place. And that comes away with quite a bit of force, so I don't think it's going to pop out mistakenly. So let me show you that one more time. Now I've put a blue microfiber cloth under it so I don't scrape the display up, but let's go ahead and plug this in and see what it's like. So as we plug in here, so let's go ahead and plug this in, put it in here, it sort of centers itself, and then snaps into place. So it comes out pretty difficult to pull that out of there. So there you go. So as you can see on the back, again, here's the ports. And then on the bottom, we have our different speaker grills. So again, let me flip this up here so you can see the bottom of it. So you've got speaker grills here along the edge, and this gives you an idea of what it actually looks like. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see what it's like. Now on the bezel, you can see it's a white or maybe an off-white bezel, and then it's gray on the bottom. So it sort of matches gray and silver. It's less contrasty than, say, the other colors would be. Now, for those of you wondering about the Apple sticker on the front, well, it doesn't fit. It would actually cut into the bezel here a little bit. So you'd have it, that's as low as it can go, and then it goes into the white part of the bezel. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit. Let's go ahead and turn it on. So we'll boot it up. Turn on our accessories here. We've got the accessories turned on. We'll wait for it to boot. And there's the new hello animation. So as you can see there, it says hola, hello. Let's go ahead, and the mouse already works. Let's go ahead and click next. And we'll select our language. And it's saying select your country. So we'll select our country here. And for me, that's the United States. We'll go ahead and click continue. And then it's asking about accessibility. I'll click not now. And now I need to connect it to Wi-Fi. Now we're connected to Wi-Fi. It's talking about data and privacy. We'll go ahead and click continue. and then we'll click continue. I don't want to migrate anything from a different Mac to this one. I'll actually set it up as new, and now it wants my Apple ID. So I'll go ahead and put in my Apple ID. We'll create a computer account. I put in my password, and then we'll click continue. So now it'll set up the iCloud account. This will take a little bit of time, and then we'll wait for it to complete, and hopefully we'll get to the desktop soon. Now, while we're waiting for this to complete, this has Bluetooth 5.0 and then Wi-Fi 802.11 AB, GN, AC, and AX, or Wi-Fi 6. So all of that is built in, and I'll show you the display a little bit more once it's set up. Now we're at Express Setup, so we'll go ahead and click Continue. And you can share crash and usage data if you want with app developers. You don't have to do this. And then if you want to use screen time, you can. I don't use it really, so I'll set it up later. Now you have the option to use Siri or enable Ask Siri. So we'll click Continue, and it wants me to set it up. So I'll click Continue. Hey Siri. Hey Siri, open the Documents folder.
Sorry, I can't help you with that here.
Hey Siri, show my downloads. Hey Siri, what's the weather? Hey Siri, what does the rest of my day look like? And now Siri is ready. Let's go ahead and click Continue. And we can share audio recordings or not. I prefer not to. I'll click Continue. And then File Vault Disk Encryption. We'll leave it on. We'll hit Continue. And now it wants us to set up Touch ID. It says use your fingerprint to unlock your Mac and make purchases. We'll go ahead and click Continue. And it says lift and rest your finger on Touch ID repeatedly. So we know how this goes. So as you can see here, we'll set it up here. And it says Touch ID complete. Press it a couple more times. And it looks like that's it, and we'll just move our finger around here on the keyboard. Couple more times. There we go. Touch ID is ready. So that's going to be super convenient to unlock the Mac, and it's something I'm surprised hasn't been there for quite some time. Now you can set up Apple Pay. I'll do this later. We'll click Continue. Now we have the option to choose our look. I like to leave it on auto, so it sort of changes light to dark during the day. Although this may be a light mode machine, but we'll click auto and click Continue. And as you can see with the light bezels, it may make a difference. And then see without True Tone. I tend to turn True Tone off because I'm editing photos and things like that. So I don't want it to be a different color than what it really is. So we'll go ahead and click Continue, and I'll probably turn that off in just a moment. So here's the home screen, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. It's having me set up a few more things, but it's a 4.5K Retina display, 4480 by 2520 with 218 pixels per inch, and it goes up to 500 nits brightness. So it's all the way bright now. We can turn it down a little bit, but it's 500 nits of brightness. It has wide color, P3, and True Tone. So it's got all of that. And then let's go ahead and customize this a little bit. We'll go to System Preferences. I like to go to the dock here. And I like the dock to have magnification. That's where you roll over it and it does this effect. I just kind of like it. I've always used it. We'll turn it down a little bit. And there we go. Now if we go to the Apple, click About This Mac, you can see that it's the 16 gig version and it has the M1 chipset in it. Now let's see what version it's on. It has 11.3 pre-installed in it, so it's got one of the latest versions, not the latest, so there will be a software update. Let's go ahead and take a look at the benchmark scores and just see if it's any different than, say, an M1 MacBook. So we'll go to the App Store and I'll install Geekbench. Now, as you can see, the Geekbench score is completed, and it scored 1,709 for single core, 7,403 for multi-core. If we compare the new iPad Pro, as you can see here, it's very similar, although you get better multi-core scores, probably because of dual fans that are inside the M1 MacBook or iMac. Now also, let's take a look at the speakers. We can see that with magnet paper. There's some speakers there on the left, and then on the right, we should see the same sort of thing. So you'll see speakers there, and then there's some magnets in the center, maybe to hold that power adapter in the back. So you've got some magnets here for those speakers. We'll take a listen to those in just a moment. Now let's go ahead and play one of my videos with a comparison in it so we can hear what the speakers sound like. I haven't heard them yet, so we'll go ahead and hit play. Now the speakers sound very direct, like they're coming right from the screen. They have really good bass, as you could hear, and it's very similar to what an iPad sounds like with the new M1 iPad, for example. So they sound great, and it's amazing that they're actually coming from something this thin. So that's a great thing to see. I'd say they sound about the same as maybe an iMac Pro, but they sound very direct. I'm not sure how they got those to sound that way in here, but they do sound pretty good for what they are. I don't think you could get external speakers for any reasonable amount that would sound better. Now let's go ahead and take a look at system preferences. We'll go to General, and this is something we noticed with one of the Mac OS updates. You'll see it says highlight color this Mac. So if we click on this Mac, we have all the different new colors: blue, purple, pink, red, orange, yellow, green, graphite, and other. So maybe let's select orange for now. We'll go to light mode, and that's pretty bright. Let's turn that down a little bit. That's light mode. And if we go to Finder on the desktop, it looks pretty normal. Now I've seen some that actually have accent colors that match based on the Mac you're actually using. So you could have an orange accent color like this. You can set it here, or just have it match whichever Mac you're using, whatever you'd like. So we can make it silver, and now they're all sort of a silver color or graphite. So we'll go to this Mac, and now we're back. So you can have it very much black or white or whatever color you'd like here. So it's kind of a theming option, but it goes along with what you've got. So we'll go back to this Mac. And one other thing before I close system preferences there, we'll go to desktop and screensaver. And under screensaver, we should have a new hello screensaver. So we've got hello, we'll click preview. And this is the new hello screensaver. So it will draw the word hello, as you can see here. And it changes based on every time you click it. At least it did in previous versions. It would actually rotate between colors, but maybe it's color matched to whatever you have the theme to. But you get the idea. So it's a nice little hello there for a screensaver. So we'll exit out of that and close that. And someone was asking, how bright is this display? So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll take a look at the forward-facing camera, since there should be some improvements to that. Now, next to the new iPad Pro, this can go as bright as a Pro Display XDR. So maybe we turn it all the way up. We'll turn this all the way up on the iMac, and let's go to something similar. So we'll go to the App Store, go to the App Store here, and you may be already able to see how bright it is. So there's definitely a significant brightness difference with the new iPad. It's definitely brighter, but the iMac is not dim by any means. So this is just a super bright display with the new Liquid Retina XDR. So it looks pretty good on the iMac, but it's definitely not as bright as, say, the newer ones, or the new iPad, or the Pro Display XDR, I mean. So let's go ahead and close that. Now let's take a look at the camera, since it's now 1080p and uses the M1's chipset to sort of improve the video overall, and it should have some nice microphones. So let's go ahead and open QuickTime, and then we'll go to File and New Movie Recording, and then we'll click the down arrow here, making sure we're on maximum, and now we're recording directly from the new iMac. So hopefully it sounds a lot better than it did before, and hopefully it looks a lot better also. So let me know what you think sounds better, this or the studio mic that's up above. Let me know what you think about that. And the overall quality won't be 4K, but it is 1080p, so that should help in meetings and things like that. Now, a few people wanted to know if the display actually uses PWM to modulate brightness, and as you can see here, under 240 frames per second, it does not appear to use PWM that's perceptible to 240 frames per second, which means it's plenty high enough, if it does use it, that it shouldn't bother your eyes at all. So in general, it really should be great to use if that sort of thing bothers your eyes. I don't have any issues, whether it be the iMac or the iPad. Just the iPhone seems to be the issue with PWM, since that's how OLED displays work. So that's it for the new iMac. I can't wait to use this, edit some video off of it. We know it's plenty fast. It's an M1. I've been editing with the M1 MacBook Pro, and it really is just as fast as the Mac Pro that's back there. So it's super fast and very impressive to use, and a fraction of the cost. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and what do you think of the silver? What's your favorite color? I'd love to hear from you there as well. I'll link the new iMac wallpapers, of course, in the description like I normally do. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.